Good evening, friends. Do you remember our theme at church this year? It is focus. Now, as I tell you the story of David, I want you to listen on how David focused on God and how that helped him with a really big problem. As one of God's prophets or messengers, Samuel made sure that he listened to God and told the people what God said. God told Samuel to go to a little town called Bethlehem, where he would find a man named Jesse. One of Jesse's sons would be the new king of Israel. God told Samuel that he would tell him which son it would be when Samuel met him. So one by one, Jesse brought his sons to Samuel. The first one was handsome. The second one was strong. Surely one of these will be king, thought Samuel. But God said, no. Looks don't matter to me. I see what's in a man's heart. Jesse brought 5 more sons to Samuel. And God said, no, 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 and no. Is that all of them? Samuel asked. Well, David, my youngest and smallest boy, he's out watching my sheep. Samuel asked to meet him. Even though David was small, he was handsome and he was strong. He's the one, God told Samuel. Many years later, another king would come from Bethlehem. He would even come from David's family line. Do you know who was born in Bethlehem in a manger? It was the King of all kings, Jesus. Do you remember the bad Philistines? Well, they wanted to fight the Israelites again. But they had a giant soldier. Really, he was the size of a giant. His name was Goliath. He was more than 9 feet tall, and he wore a helmet and a coat of armor. He carried a huge sword. Every day, Goliath shouted at God's people. Come out and fight me, he would say. And he would also say terrible things about God. The Israelite soldiers were afraid of him. Even the king at the time, Saul, was afraid as well. I'm not scared, David said. God is on our side. David wore no armor or helmet. He carried only a slingshot and a bag of stones. He marched right up to that big Goliath. What's that little guy? The giant said. David shouted back, you may come with big weapons to fight us, but I come in the name of our Lord. David put a stone in his slingshot, aimed at Goliath's head, and fired. Thud. Goliath fell to the ground, dead. The rest of the Philistine army ran away, with the Israelite army chasing after them. God had rescued his people again, this time through small David, a slingshot, and stones. Here's your memory verse. But the Lord said to Samuel, man does not see what the Lord sees, for a man sees what is visible, but the Lord sees what's in your heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. Do you think David was scared of Goliath? I would think so. But what do you think made David so brave that he decided to hit Goliath with a slingshot and a stone? I think that it's because he knows God is with us everywhere we go. Whether we're big, small, whether we're an adult or a small child, I want you to remember that God is always with us.